Hi everyone. So welcome to another show in this series of the Leaders Show, and I'm super duper excited to host this one beautiful guest who I admire so much. She's one of my biggest inspiration right now. Her name is Miss Ambili Menon. She's the winner of the reality show Sunsilk Gang of Girls on Zoom. She has been featured on other TV shows like Jhoom India on Sahara One, Artist of the Week on Z Music, and most recently on Sony Entertainment Televisions. She's a Bollywood singer and a songwriter. She's also the runner-up of Super Speaker Season 2 of Success Gyan. I mean, words will never be enough to, express like who she is, what kind of beautiful and kind heart she's having, and she's on this beautiful mission to help millions of women around the world find their voice, their unique identity, and unleash their unique and inner power to live a life of abundance, prosperity, and purpose. Like, thank you so much for coming here. It's such an honor to host you.
Oh my God, that's such a sweet, lovely introduction. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here, Gargi. And I was saying this to you off camera, but I want to say this again. You're young. You're 16, so it's awesome. Like just how incredibly early you've begun your journey in personal development, working on yourself, and just being an inspiration to your generation. Because like we do see that there's a lot more issues of mental health and just people being unhappy, and you're going to be the torch bearer for you're the next like generation coming up, and it's so amazing to witness like just the beginnings of your journey, and more power to you. And just I can't wait to see what you have in store for the next 10-20 years.
Thank you so much, means a lot. So, like, I'm very curious to ask you this one question. Like, before I move on to all others, one that I am having, the day I
Sure.
saw you on Success Gyan stage, like, you became my inspiration the moment I saw you. The way you speak, every way, like the confidence, especially your energy level. So my first most curious question to you is like, how do you maintain such beautiful energy level? You're always so energetic and enthusiastic. So my first question starts with this energy.
Oh man, I don't know. This is so strange because I think this is the question I get asked the most. Whether it is as a singer, like after every show of mine, or whether it is even at Success Done events that we've done. I attended MMI and TTT, and everybody is like, dude, where do you get your energy from? And I don't realize it. Like it's not a conscious thing. It's not something that like I'll be like, oh, I have to be like boisterous or chirpy. I guess it's just everyone has a personality type, and I do think that in general, I have a lot of energy. So it just shows up. I think you can see even in the way I talk.
Yes.
I move a lot. I just, and I also have this really big value, okay? And one of my values is, have you heard that line by Maya Angelou? Like, it's a beautiful line. People will forget what you did. People will forget what you, I think, said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yes.
So I think one of my important values is to leave someone better, like than before meeting, like before I found them. Like Robin Sharma says this beautiful line, like leave someone better than you found them. And I've always felt like even if my emotional state may not be like, we all go through those normal things, right? Like maybe we don't have a good day or whatever, but I don't ever want to be the spreader of negativity to anybody I meet, and that includes a person I'll meet on the lift, or just like even if I'm taking an Uber, I will talk to the person. And I think that's a very important part of my value system. Like it's important to me to interact and to give a little bit of that energy out. So I think it's just an extension of my personality, but I also believe that it's dear to me as who I am.
That is the one thing, like everyone just wants to know about you. How do you get so much kind of energy? So hats off to you. Thank you for sharing. So my next question to you is, you started like right now you're a Bollywood singer and you have this mission to help more and more women find their inner voice and unleash their power. So you must be having a story behind it. Why do you want to do this? So, like, what led you on this path? Would love to hear.
That's a really. Are you sure you're 16 years old? Like, how is there so much wisdom inside that little head of yours? But that's a really good question. I think I wouldn't say that I found my mission immediately, like my purpose or my mission. I think it did come to me really slowly. So music was something I've always wanted to do. Like I was really young when I told my parents that I want to be a singer. And obviously I come from a really middle class family. So for my parents, it was important that I finished my education. So I did my graduation in journalism. I did my master's in mass communication. So I did all of that. Came to Bombay, started pursuing music. Obviously, that's another story where I was working and I quit my job and I didn't have money and figuring all of the music thing out, like seeing my ATM slip and feeling like, oh my God, how am I going to do this on my own? But apart from all that, like once I became a singer, and I remember seeing this on the Success Gang stage, I think as part of my last some emotional moments that I had. I love music. I love entertainment. I love being on stage. I love the high of just audience screaming and jumping and dancing with me. But I've always felt like my voice is meant for more. That I'm not really deeply impacting their lives at like a meaningful level, and making them happy is one thing, but really helping them at like in some way, like transform or impact or just inspire or just in some way be that just move beyond like just being a happy time, but take them through a journey. And I've been feeling like that for a really long time. And I think everything changed like when I had my baby. I feel like Kayan was, when I looked at him, I felt like I'm not living up to my true potential. Like I feel like, okay, there is this side of me, the entertainer, that I have tapped into, but there is this side of me that can really just, deep rootedly find my purpose, find my mission. And I think that's where I started doing my inner work, and everything just, started from there.
Awesome. So it's like each one of us, we can find our purpose only if we start to work on our own self. The better we understand ourselves, the better it is for us to understand how to live a meaningful life. So hats off to you. Thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love how perfectly you summarized it. But I think that's it. I think everything in the outer world changes once the inner world begins to change. And I think that's a very important part of like at least my journey, because I've seen it happen to me, like just how I started shifting things in my inner world, and just all of the magic that starts unfolding in the outer world. And I think a lot of people feel like it's a short game. It will happen. It's not a game of even like months. It's years and years of, just understanding and deep rooted and, just going up the cycle and getting to know yourself more and more.
Great message. So my next question to you is like, most of the people, especially if I talk about women, some of them, they have good family members who support them. But at the same time, there are many people out there, women, in case of, because you're helping them, basically there are people who does not support the family. Like the family is not supporting the woman to pursue her dreams. So how can she stay positive and still continue to, work on her dreams even when the family is not supporting her? So that is my second question.
Hey, brava to that question. That's a very deep question, and it's incredible that you. So thank you for asking that. Firstly, that's amazing. So, I feel like as women, we've been programmed to I want to say be of service, but it sometimes isn't just that. Like it sometimes becomes sacrificing. It sometimes becomes, putting others' needs first over your own. It becomes, quelling all of your desires and dreams because of fears and insecurities. So there is a lot of, I think we do go back to a lot of the inner programming work that we need to do. There will be people. No matter what, we will always have either detractors, we'll always have energy vampires, so people who, make us feel small, make us feel like something is not doable or something is not possible, or just, all of those limiting beliefs. I feel like all that whole journey begins from a really truly deep diving into what is your passion, like what is your purpose, what do you want to do in life. And the moment you start taking small mini steps and you start getting some wins, you will gain confidence, and that confidence will give you a little bit of bravado or courage or call it whatever word to just, you don't have to be rude, you don't have to be angry, you don't have to be, people use the word rebel a lot, like, oh, I'm a rebel, and it's cool, like, but you don't have to be like that if you're not that person. You can just simply learn to stand up for yourself if you find your voice. It is about how you communicate. Like I understand that people might have unsupportive family, but there is always a way to get through to people. You just have to find out the path to get through to them, and that comes with just finding it inside of you. So it all begins there, and just gaining confidence, taking it step by step will give you a win, and pat yourself on the back once in a while. Yeah, it always helps.
Yes, so from like whatever you answered, I could get one aha moment that whatever you want in your outer world, it has to be first created inside you. So your outer world is just a reflection of your inner world. You have like greatly answered in a very simplified yet profound way. So thank you so much for adding those perspectives. My next question to you is, most of the women, I think, like right now, you said that most of us, we are conditioned to always give, give, give. And mostly the women, they are in the natural way of, always giving. And one day comes when they don't prioritize themselves and they are like, oh my God, why didn't I realize this before? Oh my God, why didn't I follow my dreams before? And all of those questions they start asking. So this emptiness which is there in each and every person, not only women, how can we actually, start to replace it? What would your advice be to fill this emptiness within us?
Again, thank you. Very profound question, sweetheart. And I think we do live in a world where more and more, and just absolutely rightly that you said, not just women, but people are feeling more and more empty. And there is a lot of noise. There's a lot of distraction. They choose to, sort of relieve their emptiness either on social media, but by just randomly scrolling through posts, and or by just following the bandwagon. Oh, my friends are doing this, so I need to do this because this is where I fit in and I need to belong. But I feel like, the deep rooted cause of the issue is never answered. So relationships suffer, and yes, your mental health suffers. And then a lot of people, for example, are stuck in jobs, like people in their 20s are stuck in, or even 30s or 40s, stuck in jobs that are just paying them a salary. So it's almost like, a hamster on the wheel, and you're not really addressing where it comes from. So I feel like the cause, it's very difficult to identify because it is going to be very different to each person. Like some people probably feel empty because they know they have so much potential, but they are not living up to it. Some people really feel empty because, maybe they deal with like the energy vampires or the people that are sucking their energy out, and they're not addressing a way to just figure a way out to be healthy and control. So one of my favorite authors, Stephen Covey, he's written this incredible book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't know if you know that, but it's mind-blowing. So he says we have a circle of influence, like things that we can control. And there are things outside that we can't control. But the moment we choose to expand what we can control, that that's where we start to figure out our power. So I feel like the easiest way to just do this is, and it's one of my favoriteest process, is to journal. And really helps because our mind is running like 60 million thoughts like a day, and like, so imagine what's going on, like all of the chatter, and we don't know if it's coming from a place of, ego as in the ego that cares about what will people say, what is this person thinking, oh, blah blah blah, or if it's coming from a place of fear, or it's actually coming from a place of some, that nudge, that universe is pushing you, hey, you know what, get out of your comfort zone, do this, don't be like, so we all have these nudges, but we choose to like just the bow the voice of guidance. So I think just journaling is a really great practice to sort of figure out why you're feeling empty, and then once you have the causes, you can do something in that direction. But get the chatter out and get clarity. So journaling is zero chatter, more clarity. Like, so all of the chatter starts to make sense, and then you see it, and then you're like, yeah.
I do
So,
agree with your point because I am like, every single day I also write my thoughts in the morning. So if I will show you my almirah, around more than 10 diaries are already filled, and I have just
wow.
kept it. I have just kept it, not thrown away to, whenever I want to reflect back, I can see that yes, this was me 2 years back and see who I am 2 years after now. So that really
That's
helps a lot.
awesome.
Yes.
So I think to everyone who's just watching, I mean, this, just the fact that you at such a young age can do it, and most people think, "Arey, there's so much, I don't have time." Even 5 minutes, sometimes that's all you need. Like when you get overwhelmed, you just take 5 minutes and you're like, okay. And simple. When I feel overwhelmed, I'd be like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, I'm taking a deep breath. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Okay, so here are my thoughts. This is why I'm scared. Why am I actually scared? Then you get another reason. So it just gives you a lot more organization. And like, I think it's a brilliant process. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for adding that point because most of us we feel lazy while writing, but we are unaware of the fact that this writing is only going to take us to the place we want to be. So
absolutely, great. So well said. Like most people think I don't have time, and that yes. You said that actual point that that's incredible because 5 minutes of journaling will give you like 2-3 hours or 5 yes. hours of clarity and save you so much time. That's perfect. Super. Dude, you are the girl. I'm so blown away by you.
Same here. So, like this one question popped again in my head that what is the any one success principle you follow in your life?
That's really interesting. So I think for the longest time, and I've really believed that this is one thing that's sort of given me laser focus. For the longest time, I've always believed in never having a plan B. So I feel like when you have I know that this is a principle that helped me become a really successful live artist. Like I didn't want to depend on my parents for money. Like when I quit my corporate job and I was staying alone in Mumbai and I had all of this. Like remember I was telling you the story of the ATM slip. So I'm looking at the ATM slip and I'm feeling so much fear and I'm thinking, the easy choice is just call up dad and say, hey, you know what, send me some money. But I was like, they spent for my graduation and my master's, and it was my decision to quit my job because I wanted to pursue music. So I don't want to burden like my parents, and I want to figure this out on my own. So the moment I made that choice, and I knew I didn't have a job to fall back on, so that choice was gone, this choice was gone. I just had to like make it work, and that gives you a really strong fire in your belly. And I think that fire is what makes you hustle. That fire is what makes you, just put in the hours and say no to the distractions and say yes to the work because, it's fueled by a good cause. So I feel like never have a plan B has always worked for me.
I agree with this one point because whenever I'm asked by someone else that Gargi, suppose if you fail in your future, you are not able to become a successful life coach, you are not able to impact this career, doesn't work, you are not able to do anything. So, and what will you do? What is your plan B? So, I am like, I don't have any plan B. I know it will work. I believe in myself. I believe in the efforts. So, just like
That's awesome.
awesome.
That's absolutely awesome. Like, I think
Yes.
that's, I mean, you just take me back to how I was like, when I was, where it's just amazing that, and that really does give you
Yes.
fire because, you're not, I mean, it's not like you're not afraid of
Hmm.
failing because everybody fails. Like, we've all stumbled, we've all fallen, but you're only a failure if you quit.
Yes.
When you stand up and pick up the pieces from there on and take your learnings from whatever stumble or fall or, whatever supposed failure, you just pick it up and then you're like, you just grow and you grow. And so yeah, it's awesome that, I just feel like you're just going to like absolutely blow the whole world. It's going to be awesome. Like, you're going to be a force.
Thank you
You
so much.
already are. You already are, but it's going to be amazing. Like,
Take
just the
like taking
sorry, go
ins
ahead.
I was just saying that taking inspiration from all of you and you, the moment I saw you when I was watching the show of Super Speaker season 2 finale, I was blown away and I straight away followed you first on Instagram. So thank you
So
so
sweet.
much. Yes.
Thank you. It's an absolute honor. Thank you, sweetheart.
Great. So my next question to you is like out of 2 lakh registrations getting selected for top 10. It was seriously not easy. First of all, salute you for the efforts that you put in every single challenge. So I just want to ask any major lesson you learned or out of if I take a overview, what was your whole experience and if any lesson you learned which really impacted you a lot?
So, actually, I don't know. I feel like the whole journey was really transformational, and I, truth be told, I totally wasn't expecting it. Like, I I was anyway doing music, and then it was, I was pregnant, like, so I had my baby, and I was just like, this. I think I saw the ad or something, and I was like, okay, it sounds interesting. So it was just one of those things that you do as a whim, without even thinking about where it's going to go. So yeah, so I think when the challenges started, I really started, really enjoying them, and I really started because the questions were interesting, and it made me think about things in a way that I hadn't really thought about before, and I started putting more and more, like, just of my, like, these kind of contents out there, and I think, right, like, the most transformational thing has just been meeting all of these incredible people. Suren said it at one of the webinars. He's like, it's not about the destination; it's about the person you become on the way. And I just never really thought about that statement till I realized what was happening inside me. The Inspirathon, you get put into a tribe, and you're just, just helping each other grow, helping each other make scripts better, and just present more. And I was talking to them about how to interact in front of the camera, and I think that's where I really began to just understand, just community and that vibe and that tribe, and your vibe attracts your tribe, all of that. And I feel like that has been the most amazing part, like meeting all of these people, getting so inspired by them, learning from them, and just seeing a whole other world as compared to the world that I belong to. Yeah, so I think that's been amazing. Yeah.
Great. And the one lesson I learned from all of you from the Success Gyan post were that I never sensed that there was a competition. It was all a game of cooperation, love, compassion, and being there for each other. So
Yeah.
that was the most impactful message I got
Yeah.
from all of you. So great.
And that's absolutely true. That's absolutely
Yes.
true. I don't think it ever felt like that. I just felt like, 10 friends जो बिछड़ गए थे, or
Yes.
even like I can talk about the super 10 because I've met them and spent a lot of time with them, but it really felt like बिछड़ के मतलब हम लोग मिल रहे हैं and we're like we love you, like hugs. That was just really good. Yeah, it's really good energy.
Super. Great. So my one of the questions that I want to ask is, what would you suggest, any three or any two tips for women to be more confident and at least start to realize the potential within them?
Hmm. I I think one thing. So I'll tell you what I feel. Okay, and this is a really different take on confidence as compared to what generally you will read on Google or whatever. But I think of confidence as energy. In fact, I think of everything in life as energy. Like I do think everything is energy, but and in that same respect, confidence is about energy. So it means the energy I'm giving you, and it shows up in everything. So if I internally I'm having a conversation with you and my mind is elsewhere, or if somewhere I'm thinking of myself as superior or inferior or detached, it's just going to show up. Like, it's going to be like, hi, how are you doing? And for me, that's cockiness. That's not confidence. Like, or that's just being whatever. That's another. It's not, for me. It's about what shows up in your body. So I feel like it's very important when people think of confidence. It's not about uh, using big words or just communicating in a way that makes you sound very intelligent or whatever. Like for me, it's about, can I just hold your attention, and can you hold mine, because of authenticity, because of who I am inside. So I think just being true and authentic and raising that energy just helps you become way more confident. So that is one really big tip. And for me, I think one really important thing is, just don't hold, like, there's a lot of chatter that's going on about another person. So there's always judgment. I don't like what that person is wearing. I don't like what, so there's judgment or gossip, or you're trying to put yourself down. All of that takes away from your energy. Like, and I really feel like another person might not be able to read you. For example, maybe they're not really good at reading body language, but they can feel you. It always is about, yeah. So I feel like just A, it shows up in the body. B, control your, like, stop, like, release all of that judgment and resentment and gossip and like belittling or whatever goes on, in your mind. Because anytime you're putting someone else down, you're only putting yourself down. Like, even in your head, even if you're not saying it, I think that's really important. Like, bless something that you want to grow. So if you want, the other person, like, even if it's an ex person to love you, you have to send love to Y, Z, A, B, C. Like, just send a lot of love, and that really helps.
So first, everything is like energy. So confidence is energy. Be energetic, be authentic, be real. And the second is, release your judgment and stop all the chatter which is going on, because it will never be able to, you can't succeed in life if you just focus on the chatter. So thank you so much for coming here. It was such an honor to be with you, and every time I see you, every time I meet you, like in TTT also, the moment I saw you on the first day, I was like, oh my god, Ambili ma'am is here in the room. So I just wanted to
So
meet you,
sweet.
and then we met, and like the days that happened for the next 4 days, like they were just amazing. So thank you so much. It was truly an honor. And to all of you, your action steps is going to be follow her on Instagram. Like, just go ahead, follow her on Instagram, follow her on every social media, because she's that powerhouse of energy and inspiration. And the second thing is, do share your thoughts in the comments, like what were your key takeaways, what were the golden moments that you got from her, because like as I said, all that she has shared is just like gold. So thank you so much.
You are so sweet.
Thank you.
I'm giving you all giving you a big hug, and everybody who's watching, like, sending you all a lot of love. God bless you. Bye, sweetheart.
Thank you.